I'm not the only one who is sitting here thinking, how on earth have 6 months of 2025 already passed us by? I feel like this is the fastest time has ever flown, and it's time to do a little resetting, a little reflection, getting back on track, all of the things, and I'm so excited to be bringing y'all along for this little mid-year reset session. Whether you're new or returning, I am so happy you're here. If you are returning, then you probably know that I am all about setting goals. I'm all about doing the resets, and I just love like a little to-do list and reflection moment. So I'm so excited. I'm making this video just in the midst of a really crazy time in my personal life. I'm about to leave for a trip to Europe. And so there's a lot of things within this reset that I just needed to get in and like start cranking things out. So to start this reset, I am just going to be cleaning our home. My husband is at work, and usually we try and clean everything on Fridays just because we prefer to spend Friday evenings at home. I feel like that's something I've really got into my system when I was just training for races all the time. I just really love Friday night at home before Saturday long runs. And even though I'm not training for anything right now, I still just love a Friday night at home. And so usually we'll knock out the cleaning then, but we had something last night. And so it's Saturday afternoon now, and I'm gonna spend it cleaning. I need to vacuum. Really just need to pick a lot of stuff up. We kept the house like pretty clean for most of the week, and then I don't know what happened these last few days, but I feel like it just looks like a disaster in here. So a lot of picking up, vacuuming, Swiffering, like cleaning the counters, you know, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna get to picking everything up, and then we can sit down and just do a little reflection on how the 6 months have been so far, what I'm looking forward to for the next 6 months, where I am with my goals, all that good stuff. All right, the house is clean. I've got my fun drink, a little candle. Vibes are very cozy, very chill, very relaxed, because I feel like sometimes it can just be really intimidating to go back and reflect on really just any time that has passed, whether it's 6 months, a month, like a week, whatever. When you've set goals, it can just be scary to go back and be like, okay, am I hitting them? Like, am I gonna feel sad looking at these goals if you haven't like regularly been looking, which I've looked pretty recently, and I feel okay about like how I'm doing, but I just want to encourage you to like, one, kind of set the environment if you are about to do like a big year reflection, and two, it is totally okay if your year is not going the way you thought it would, or maybe you've had a great year, but that still doesn't mean that you've accomplished all your goals, and maybe this year just like took a turn. I just want to remind you that it is okay to change your mind, set new goals, set goals and not have been able to accomplish them yet. Like, I think the whole thing about goals, and also where people get wrong, is they're to help keep you on track. They're to help you make sure that you are living the life that you've dreamed of living, and just making sure it's aligned with your values. But they're not something that you need to like beat yourself up about, because I feel like you can never like be mean to yourself in order to accomplish a goal. Like speaking rude to yourself is never going to help you get to where you're going. So just wanted to give that little reminder if you are a little nervous to look at the goals that you've set, or you are looking at them and you're feeling a little bit bummed. And it's also okay to like look at things and be bummed. Obviously you set the goals because you want to achieve them, but just want to remind y'all to take it all with grace and positivity. All right, I've got my goals all pulled up on Notion, and in the past, I think I've only done one reflection video so far this year, so maybe two, because I did at the beginning of the year, and then my Q2 reset, I had like my Notion board up with the goals, and then my little head was in the corner. But we're just keeping this casual, and I am just gonna kind of like talk y'all through here. They're separated by different quarters. I'm literally like, oh God, you know, we've got 6 months and this year has just been absolutely crazy. So let's just dive right into it. Honestly, looking at some of the stuff, this is a good reminder just to stop like procrastinating on certain things that were just like more bigger to do items. But in Q1, I had wanted to move some of our money, like investments, from the institution that we had in and move it somewhere else. And that's just like one of those things that, I mean, it'll probably take 30 minutes to maybe an hour to actually sit down and figure out how to do it. But I just keep procrastinating it, being like, oh, it's too hard, I'll do it later. And I still haven't done it. So I really need to do that. We've been saying for such a long time that we wanted to do it. We wanted to complete 3 low buy months. We have completed 2 so far, which I'm actually so proud of us for doing. And certain things like related to the house, we haven't counted just because we had a lot of expenses with that and we kind of like knew that, but more so in terms of like eating out, fun shopping, all that. We've completed 2 months, which I'm so proud of. I need to complete a 100-mile race, which obviously, if you've been here, wanted to complete a 100-mile race, which if you've been here for any amount of time, you know I did not do that. And sure, I could have, you know, had another one on my calendar for later this year, but just with injuries and time and wanting to go back specifically to that one, Rocky Raccoon, it's just going to be something that I push off until next year, which is perfectly fine. I'm very excited because I see right here that I wanted to complete a needlepoint canvas, and I'm so happy to say that I have officially done that. This past week, I really made progress on the needlepoint canvas that I have. Let me show y'all actually. And I have just fallen in love with needlepoint. I think especially this past week. It had been a minute since I really was like doing it regularly, and I'm just so happy with how it turned out. There are definitely some things that I'm like, oh, I did that way wrong. And I actually am technically not like officially finished because I still need to go back and do like the white all around it, but I ran out of thread, so I need to order more, and then I can like actually finish it and figure out what I want to do with it, which I know you're supposed to kind of figure that out beforehand, but it was my first one, so I love it so much. It's from Penny Lynn, and I actually have a new one. I'm not sure if I can take like, you know, the scissors or the needle on planes, but I have a really cute one that I'm excited about that I'm contemplating bringing to London and Paris, which we are headed out on that trip soon. So I might make a lot of progress. We'll see, but I'm so happy because I can check that off. I also wanted to take a self-defense class, and I actually have that marked down. Oh, I had it marked down as Q2, which did not happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and move it to Q3 because I do still really want to do that. Why isn't it? Okay, there we go. Also had visit a new Disney park, which I'm gonna go ahead and check that off because we are going to Disneyland Paris and already have our tickets and everything. So I cannot wait. I will obviously be vlogging our time there, and I am just, oh my gosh, I'm giddy. I'm so excited. We wanted to create an outdoor at-home gym. Wouldn't say we are entirely there yet. That stuff is so expensive, and we've been looking on Facebook Marketplace, but I'm just gonna move it to Q3 because ideally we would have a lot more equipment by the end of September. Right now we just have a bench and dumbbells, and it has worked great. Recently though, I've been like, oh, I need 5 pounds like higher in these dumbbells just because I'm trying to do like progressive overload, and it's been I think almost like 6 weeks of consistent strength training, and so I'm definitely eager to get some more weights or a barbell back there. Wanted to take a European vacation, which we are also doing. I feel like those are kind of like cheating to put down stuff that at the beginning of the year you're like pretty sure it's gonna happen, but anyways, we're gonna check that off because we are doing that. next week. Which I even think when this video goes up, I think we'll be over there, which is fun. So be sure to subscribe if you're interested in seeing any vlogs. I'm not gonna vlog that much of our time in London and Paris, more so Disney Paris, but I think I'm gonna do just like a day with us in London, which will be very fun. We wanna host an at-home coffee shop. We have not done that yet. We finally feel like our home is in a place to be able to host people and have everyone over for like lattes and espresso and all that stuff. My parents came over early when they were here a couple weekends ago and we made them drinks and they like loved them. So we're so excited to do that. I really want to learn to make sourdough. That is like top of my list. I saw at the farmer's market they have like starter kits, I think is what they're called. So I might just end up doing that. I don't really know. I feel like I'm not gonna be very good at it. Like I feel like it's not gonna work. So I need to figure out either a friend who can help me or like watch a bunch of tutorials, but I really wanna do that in Q3. Then next I wanna take a CPR class, which I think Dom and I are going to do in July. I had the page pulled up this week and we just didn't sit down and like decide on what date would be best. It's a little more expensive than I was thinking. It's not that expensive. I think it's like $60 or $70. So yes, definitely going to do that in July. I just feel like it's really important to know how to do that. And especially as, you know, we don't have kids yet, but there's kids in my family. A lot of my friends have kids. I just never want to be in a situation where something terribly wrong has happened and we just like feel helpless. So I think it's a great skill to know how to do that. I can't remember if I mentioned this at the beginning of the year or not, but I have dog life written down because I wasn't sure in what capacity we would want to involve and include a dog in our life, whether that's fostering, whether it's adopting, don't know. But we've been saying after we get back from our trip, we really want to go to the shelter, start applying for like some rescues online. So we'll see. I kind of want to foster first. Dom, I think, would rather go ahead and just adopt. So we'll see. We'll probably go to the shelters. My parents got 2 of their dogs from a great rescue in like the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So we'll see. We'll be like applying and stuff. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Kind of crazy. I also had on here start a book club, and I know I made that goal with the intention that 1, I wasn't in one, and 2, we would have this house, and so just like wanting to do more hosting. I'm gonna leave this on for now. I'm honestly not sure if I still want to do that, and I know multiple people that are in multiple book clubs, so I did join one with my friend and a lot of her friends and people I haven't met, which I feel like it's just such a good way to meet people. But I don't know, just TBD on whether or not I actually want to start and host a book club. Y'all know I like love reading, but I feel like hosting one and being in one and reading 2 books that like I maybe wouldn't have like reached for myself, I feel like that would just be a lot. So I don't know, TBD on a book club. I also had Learn to Sew, which depending on how long you've been around, you know that I actually have sewed before and have like learned how to sew. My mom taught me a couple years ago and then I just like didn't do it, at least definitely not at all in our old apartment because it was so small. There was just like nowhere to do it. And now I'm just extremely intimidated by the thought of sewing. And obviously y'all could see in my office that I was just organizing, like I have fabric, like I have some patterns of things. I literally was in the middle of like making pants and just, I don't even know when I stopped or why I stopped, but stopped. So I have like the patterns of fabrics. I have that little like desk set up so I can just like roll it out whenever I want to sew. And I am just so intimidated by it. I think it's really intimidating. I don't know how many times can I say that, but it's really intimidating to like pursue something that you know is gonna feel like clunky and uncomfortable at first. So I think I'm just gonna find like an in-person class here, like whether it's like weekly or whatever, but just somewhere I can go and have someone in person, because when my mom was teaching me, it was over FaceTime since they don't live in Austin, and I just feel like I was calling her all the time, which obviously she doesn't mind and she loves that and like wants to be able to teach me, but I just think in person and having someone like right there to teach me would be helpful. Schools I all classified as Q4, not because I'm waiting until Q4 necessarily for all of them, but they're more so like need to be implementing throughout the year, whether it's savings or trips we want to take but like still don't have planned, or things I just like want to do throughout the year. So they're all kind of classified as Q4, but really they're things that I am either currently working on or in these next 6 months I really need to start working on. So the first one I have is to go to a con with Dom. And it sounds like a fun little rhyme, but if you can't tell or if you haven't noticed, both myself and my husband are very big nerds. Dom loves Star Wars, like loves Lord of the Rings, obviously loves Disney with me, but he's been talking about going to a Comic-Con for a while now, and I keep being like, oh, I don't know if it makes sense. Like, maybe next year we can go to one or something, but it's his 30th birthday this year. It's his golden birthday, and I'm thinking I'm going to surprise him with tickets to one that his favorite author is at. So I've got it all like in my mind. Maybe I'll go and like look up tickets and stuff after this. So it's all up here, planning for something like at the end of the year and then just surprising him on his birthday with tickets to it. But yes, that is in the works. I think it's gonna be so fun. I have never been to anything like that before, so I think it's gonna be really cool to experience and just something that he, you know, has really been wanting to do for a while. So I think that'll be fun. Oh dear. I also wanted to read 12 nonfiction books. Well, I don't know how many fiction books I have read, but I do know nonfiction is sitting at a big fat 0. I mentioned this in one of my other videos, but I just feel like I'm really bad at intentionally carving out time to read nonfiction, which is so silly because I have such a long list of nonfiction books that I genuinely really want to read because they sound so intriguing, but I just think it's really hard to find the time because at night I don't really want to read because it just feels like, you know, a continuation of learning and like having my brain on. And I love reading as more of like a brain off activity, at least with some books. And, you know, when I wake up early to read, a nonfiction book is really not going to get me excited and like jumping out of bed. So I just cannot get into a rhythm with nonfiction. But at this rate, I need to read 2 per month, which definitely could still happen. Or maybe I need to do audiobooks. I don't know. I just like the actual book for nonfiction because I love underlining and like annotating. So need to figure that out. I love this goal and I'm so glad I made it because I feel like it has truly made such a difference, but I wanted to play more games like board games, word games, etc. And we 100% have been doing that. And especially if you watch one of my most recent vlogs where it was just like kind of romanticizing life and like our days at home. We play a lot of board games. We love playing Wordle, and it's so funny because my family, like my parents and my sister, have been playing it daily since whenever it started, which I think was like the pandemic. And I always heard them talking about it and tried it a few times and was like, no, like that's not that fun. And now Dom and I do it every single day. Genuinely look forward to doing it every single night together. Like it is so much fun. I've been doing more Sudoku. I've got my like murder mystery like puzzle book. Been doing more actual puzzles, playing games with Dom. We've always loved playing board games together, and truly it has just made life so much fun. Like these little things and like little games, they are just so playful and fun. So strongly encourage you to find like little games that you enjoy playing, whether it's, you know, like a 1-person game, something with your partner, something with your friends regularly, like whatever it is, just highly encourage you. Wanted to save an extra $15K for a new car. New to us, we will probably never buy a new car just because they lose their value like the second you pull out of the parking lot, I'm pretty sure. But we've saved $10,000, I believe, and honestly don't know if we will get to 15K or not. So we'll see at the end of the year. We've just been talking about like, you know, starting other funds for like baby and like beefing up the travel and beefing up the emergency fund and stuff like that. So we'll see. We are sitting at like 20K, I think, right now saved for a new car for whenever our car dies, which I feel like will be in the next like couple years for sure. We would probably want a new one before we have kids anyways, but yeah, we'll see. TBD. Might end up like reevaluating that in Q4. We also really wanted to lean in to romanticizing the seasons with like decor, with the recipes we're making, like scents around our home. I don't necessarily think we are doing that yet, but I know especially when it comes to like end of summer, the fall, like winter time, I do really think we'll do that. I'm very excited just to get more like seasonal decor up here. I feel like we're still kind of like everything, just like finding our place for everything and like getting everything organized and whatnot still, but we're getting close. We definitely still, you know, have things like we need to finish decorating and whatnot, but I know that takes a while and we're trying not to rush into anything. But yes, I'm so excited for fall already. I do love the summer and I know it just started, but I love the fall too. I wanted to make more of a conscious effort to eat more whole and diverse foods. I will say in the past month, we've been doing a way better job at this than we did for the first 4 months of the year, but we've definitely still got room for improvement. I just find that I am like, I have so much recipe fatigue, and I'm just like, when it comes to the weekend, I always think I'm gonna like spend a lot of time finding new recipes and, you know, making this, and then I'm just so tired by the time the weekend comes that I just can get a little lazy with the meal planning and whatnot. So if you have any tips or like any favorite recipe people, I definitely have my favorite recipe peoples and people who we go to, but in terms of like diverse foods and like changing the foods that we're eating, I feel like I don't do that much. And it's not even that I mind the cooking. I think it's more just like the effort of finding the recipes and the grocery shopping and all that. I don't know what it is. I think it's probably just like the mental fatigue of like life, and it just feels like another really big daunting thing. But yes, made good progress in the past month. We've been very aware and trying hard to eat a lot healthier, and yes, we will continue to make an effort through the end of this year. We also wanted to be aware of protein intake, which we have definitely made more of an effort this past month. Really, it was like when my reset vlog went up, which was about a month ago, we were like, okay, we need to work on these things. We've like gone off the rails a little bit in terms of like what we've been eating and whatnot. So I feel proud of us, at least looking at the past month. The entire first half of the year, not so much. This past month though, we are getting back on track. Wanted to stay consistent with strength training. Yes, honestly, I feel like the biggest difference is that all I have to do is walk outside. It's only going to take me like 30 minutes. I basically have no excuses to not stay consistent with my strength training. So honestly, it's been a game changer just having something like so freaking close to us, like literally our back patio, to be able to do strength training. So I'm really glad we did that. One date night a month. Yes, we have definitely been doing that as well. And we've been trying to do like new to us things, which has made it really fun. I am working on growing my YouTube channel. It is like a slow but steady growth. I love YouTube. Like, y'all are my people. I love making these videos so much. I love chatting with you guys in the comments and everything. So this has just been so much fun. I really want to grow my channel to 5,000 subscribers, which just honestly feels insane to me to even think about. I think I'm like 50 people away from 4,000, which is also just like so wild. Like, I think that is so cool. And it's funny because I have 50,000 followers on Instagram, but this just feels so different. So I am trying to be really consistent with my channel and, you know, doing more shorts on here just to keep growing it. But yes, that goal is in progress. I don't know if we'll get there, but I am trying hard to get there. Only 2 left. So I wanted to prioritize sleep health. I feel like, again, this past month, really have been doing a better job of this and paying attention to like my sleep score and just like what is affecting my sleep and what is causing me to like not get a good night's sleep. I feel like I've been very in tune with my body and like what is affecting me when I sleep. And honestly, it's been a very welcome change. I feel like my just like sleep hygiene, I guess for lack of better words, has been a little sloppy, and I've been making some good changes that I think is making a difference. And then last but not least, wanted to do more screen-free activities, which I also will say I think we are doing such a good job of this. I mean, Dom doesn't even have social media except for YouTube, so I feel like he does not struggle with this, but I, you know, like most people, I spend way too much time scrolling on TikTok. We were at I feel like at the beginning of the year, we were kind of like watching a lot on TV, and now we're definitely not watching as much. And like y'all saw in that vlog and what I've talked about, just doing a lot more like game nights, going on long walks at night and whatnot. And it truly has made such a tremendous difference in my mood. Hopefully that gives you a good like overview of how this year is going and what I just want to accomplish in these next 6 months. I feel like a lot of it is really just being more intentional with my habits, whether that's spending more time doing fun hobbies and not being on my phone, just getting healthier and thinking more about like what I'm putting into my body and how I'm treating it. So really, I feel like those were the 2 biggest themes for this year. And I'm really excited and proud of how hard we've been working in this last month, and just excited to see like what the last 6 months of the year will look like. I know that's still like such a long time, but it really is wild how fast the first 6 months of this year have gone, and it's been very hectic. So definitely still want to channel more of just like the slowing down, and I will say doing something fun every single night. I genuinely think it helps to slow down time. I feel like these past like 4 or 5 weeks have just felt a lot slower in comparison to the rest of the year. So I don't know, that's just like my tip. If you also feel like time is just like flying by and you cannot like, you know, get all the things done that you want to, or like get a grasp on time and everything, that has definitely helped us. Definitely let me know if y'all are interested in like, here's all the books I've read so far this year. I feel like I haven't done a reading vlog in a long time, but just because I'm not sure if those are like videos that you like, but I've read I literally just counted and I forgot. I think I've read either like 33 or 34 books so far this year. I've gotten a 6-star read, I've found a 5-star, and found a handful of 4.5-star books as well. So if you're interested in any type of recap, let me know and I can do a separate video once we're back from our trip, which would be so much fun. And yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. I don't know about y'all, but I just love hearing people like yap about their goals and like what they've set and how they're doing. So hope this was fun for y'all. I know I've kind of gone back and forth on the reset videos and whatnot. I'm contemplating doing them for the last 6 months of the year. And so if that's something you're interested in and it doesn't feel repetitive, obviously I just shared like all of our goals for the rest of the year. But if you're interested in seeing more of like a monthly breakdown and reflections, definitely let me know. Otherwise, the next video like this will be for the last quarter of the year. So crazy. But yeah, I would love to hear how your year is going, what goals you are setting, what goals you've accomplished or still like hoping to achieve by the end of the year. If you're not already subscribed, be sure to subscribe to my channel because I have a lot of very fun videos coming up and I just can't thank you enough for being here. Like I mentioned, YouTube is kind of like my baby and I've been pouring so much time and effort and love into this channel, and it truly just means so much to me that you take the time to watch my videos, to comment, all that good stuff. So I just want you to know how much I appreciate you for being here. And yes, definitely let me know what goals you've got going on because I would love to hear and cheer you on. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time.